In my teens I once brought a muffin back to an unnamed Canadian coffee establishment saying there were glass shards on my muffin. I had never seen sugar crystals on a muffin before. I still cringe. My friends woke up in the middle of the night and thought someone was breaking in, so they called 911. Turned out it was a crime show on the TV that was left on. I once walked out of a store and didn't realize a guy with the same exact me parked next to me. I got into their car. I was like, this feels different. Then the other guy came out and got in my car. We both got out, looked at each other and just left and got in our own cars. I once genuinely thought this lady with outstretched arms was trying to give me a hug. Afraid that it was someone I knew in the past, I went in for the hug and she said, "Not you, dear," and when I turned I realized her relative was coming behind me. I fled the scene in shame. When I was 7 I was going back to school shopping for new shoes and I saw a pair of shoes next to a box on the floor, so I tried them on and walked around in them, and this girl looked at me absolutely horrified and told me to give her shoes back. My dad and his sister were swimming in a local pool. They were doing lengths when she spotted him taking a breather at pool edge. She swam up behind him, put both hands on his bald head and dunked him underwater. Whilst she held him there, ignoring his flailing, my actual dad swam past. This kind of reminds me of when my dad was trying to round us up, 4 kids, to leave the nursing home from visiting old Andy. Said, "Does anyone need to go potty?" And about 12 residents said, "I do." Walked into work one day and everybody was standing around looking somber. I loudly asked, "Geez, who the hell died?" At that moment, the guy whose custodial grandma just died turned to face me with tears in his eyes. When I was 5 I was waiting for my dad to come home on leave from the Navy. I heard the doorbell and looking down from my bedroom window I could just see the top of his Navy hat. I rushed downstairs, flung the door open, and yelling, "Daddy!" jumped into the arms of the milkman. On holiday in Corfu, some friends of ours sat at a pretty table in a shady square and ordered a couple of beers from the lady who came over to them. Later, when they tried to pay, she said, "Oh no. Don't worry, this is my home, you're welcome." Oops. When I was a kid, I ran up to a woman in line, pinched her butt, laughed, and then hugged her from behind thinking it was my mom. It wasn't. I think about this moment almost weekly and my stomach still drops, 35 years later. My mom was walking me to school when I was 5 and I saw my friend Trevor up ahead, so I ran on to catch up with him, calling out his name. As I got close I realized it wasn't him, so I just kept on running past shouting, "Trev! Trevor!" I'm pretty sure I carjacked a nice old lady one morning, taking what I thought was my lift to work. I noticed she was extremely nervous and asked where we were headed, how to get there, etc. Thought she was new. When I got to work I noticed the ride had been cancelled. My grandmother in Brooklyn received a call from a young woman who said, "Hi Grandma," and they had a nice chat for a while until she asked about her sister and they realized they were related. My aunt wandered into an open-air restaurant in Greece, sat down. She had no Greek, they no English. So she pointed at what others were having. They brought her wine and food. Only when she tried to pay and they refused did she realize she'd just crashed someone's wedding party. I was in a park and a lady loudly called out, "Anyone who wants an ice cream, come over here." I headed over with several others. She handed out ices to them all, then asked me, "Who are you?" I realized the rest were all her family. 30 years later I still cringe. Please subscribe to this girl's channel and help her grow. Here are some other vids from her. Like, share and click the bell icon to get notified whenever I read something new. Thanks. Bye smiley face.